are pushing countries deeper into commercial debt instead of providing genuine support. They called on richer nations to match their promises with fair, predictable financing. On the global goal on adaptation, the African group said indicators should measure global support, not impose new reporting burdens on developing countries.
We are at a point that if we allow these unilateral measures to continue, many countries will be disadvantaged. One, you will be restricted to trade any commodity or service which is envisaged to have a carbon footprint which is unacceptable to the other side of the world.
The group also raised concern over the slow rollout of the new climate finance target of $300 billion annually by the year 2035 and urged a cleaner pathway to the $1.3 trillion goal set after that period.
If you go into the debt to GDP ratio, Africa is at around 60%. OECD countries are 120% on average. So we have about half of the burden in relation to the size of the economy. But we cannot service that debt because it's very difficult for us to service debt when our economic structure.
While they welcomed the first ever $5 to $20 million grant from the Loss and Damage Fund, they warned that the current amount remains far below what Africa requires. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
The Center for Human Resource Development and Empowerment Initiative, CHEDEI, Kaduna, has appealed to United States President Donald Trump to exercise caution in his comments about Nigeria, saying his statements should be guided by facts and diplomacy rather than emotion or misinformation. In a letter addressed to Trump through the American Embassy in Abuja, CHEDEI President Dr. Mohammed Ali said Nigeria is a sovereign nation and should not be viewed or treated as an extension of the United States. Dr. Ali advised the U.S. leader to avoid making policy judgments based on one-sided reports, especially claims suggesting a genocide against Christians in Nigeria, which he described as unsubstantiated and dangerously misleading. He noted that the security challenges in Nigeria are complex and affect people of all faiths and ethnicities, adding that violence in places like Benue often stems from local disputes, including ethnic, resource, and criminal elements, rather than religion alone. He says the relationship between the U.S. and Nigeria is too important for either nation to be callous. They urged a careful, calculated, and strategically diplomatic approach moving forward. There is the need for legislation against hit-and-run cases of road traffic crashes in the country as a step to reduce road traffic crashes in the country. Wife of the Corps Marshal, Federal Road Safety Corps, and President of Road Safety Officers' Wives Association, Nafisa Shehu Mohammed, said this when she visited the Federal Medical Center, Jabi, to mark this year's Day of Remembrance of Road Traffic Victims in the country, with the theme, Remember, Support, Act. Oyeyemi Ajayi reports.
A case too many in the country. Hit and run, with the perpetrators walking freely, but the victims never most times are not fortunate to live and tell their stories, and many survivors are yet to recover. Take for example, Mary was hit by a driver who is yet to be identified. She was brought into the Federal Medical Center Jabi by a Good Samaritan for treatment. Sadly, till today, she is said to be mentally unstable. The culprit is yet to be known, and for about 4 weeks without any family presence, she has been receiving treatments and care at the hospital.
Commonest cause is human factor. Reckless driving. Abuja is known for hit and run vehicular accidents. Hit and run. Most times when accident victims are brought here, we don't know who hit them down. So hit and run, recklessness. The second factor is from the vehicles themselves.
This is another out of many cases of hit and run, which has become imminent and has increased cases of road traffic crashes in the country. As a way of commemorating this year's Day of Remembrance of Road Traffic Victims in the country, The Rasowa president has taken up the hospital bill of Mary for the next 30 days and supported 2 others with cash gifts.
It's traumatizing to be here and find a lot of crash victims looking, some beyond recognition, some unconscious. There is need for a wake-up call to act in regards to a safer motoring activities across the Federation.
She, in the entourage of members of the association, gifted other patients at the Federal Medical Center different gifts ranging from crutches, wheelchairs, sanitary pads and cash gifts amongst others.
The passengers should also be on the lookout. They should just not enter into the car, get carried away, sleep and forget and relax. They should also engage the driver in discussion so that he will not sleep while driving.
The SACA may not take care of all their needs. However, it has brought not just relief to the beneficiaries, but also a feeling that they are not alone in their plight. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
This is the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Here now is a recap of our top stories. The former Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Tamino Turaki, emerges new PDP national chairman as party expels Nyesom Wike and other high-profile members. Chairman PDP National Convention and Governor of Adamawa State, Amadou Omar Fentiri, distances himself from Nyesom Wike's expulsion. DSS arrests suspected major arms supplier linked with attacks in Plateau State and northern states.
This is NTA News 24.
Every year, second Monday of November is dedicated to orphans to celebrate them, raise awareness about their plight, and solicit support for their care. Chine Nwoye reports on this year's World Orphans Day held in Abuja by the Coalition of Orphanages and Children's Homes in Nigeria.
Millions of children all over the globe have become orphaned for many reasons: war, famine, displacement, disease, or poverty.
I'm an orphan, but it does not mean I'm hopeless. They say orphans are broken, but I say you're unshaken.
As the second Monday in November every year is set aside to celebrate them and draw attention to the plight of these orphan children, the Coalition of Orphanages organized a memorable event at the Mona Lisa Park, Abuja, for children from about 110 homes in Abuja to put smiles on their faces.
They have been brought to our homes to look after. And in our homes, we are responsible for their education, medical, clothing, everything. We are bringing this to the knowledge of government that these are Nigerian children, and because they are Nigerian children, government needs to step in.
The first thing that the Mandate Secretary did was to get the approval to set up a ministerial committee for the recertifications of all the homes.
This is a call to action, and these children are hopeful of a better future. And so, anything anyone can do to help could make a world of difference for these children. In Abuja, Chinenye Nwoye, NTA News.
And that concludes the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Many thanks for watching. I am Mina Daniels.